Your Money in Business is made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities and is made possible by the generous support of our members. Thank you.
The Maryland Transit Administration is proud to support your money and business. MTA, the public transit choice for commuting smarter and greener. We're going to work with Maryland. For more information, mtamaryland.com.
Good evening and welcome to Your Money and Business. I'm Jeff Salkin. On tonight's program, what's the outlook for small business loans in the new year? Some answers in our Smith Business Close-Up. Plus, a Maryland-based business successfully cutting the rug for 80 years. But first this week, a message of financial empowerment. Joining us now is Deborah Owens, author of A Purse of Your Own. Deborah, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff.
Start with the title. What's it mean? A
Purse of Your Own. Well, this book really is about wealth. The other books that I have written have been more about personal finance and the how-to. This really is what I try to convey to women is that wealth is an inside job. And so I'm really using the purse as a metaphor for wealth and encouraging women to fill up that purse.
And some people, you believe, have counterfeit purses. What's that all about?
Well, what it's about is it's looking the part and, driving the nice car, wearing the designer clothes, and yet having nothing of real value in those purses. And the fact of the matter is that even though women are earning more than ever, far too many of us end up at the end of the rainbow or retirement, if you will, with very little in that purse. In fact, 40% of women rely on Social Security for their sole source of income. And with a check of about $800, that really doesn't go very far.
Well, and with 10% unemployment, so many people are so concerned about their personal financial future. What's an ideal purse? If you could start from scratch, what should somebody have in there?
Well, an ideal purse, really, I think one of the things I implore women to do in the first chapter of the book is to clean out the purse. And what I mean by clean out the purse, that's really take a financial accounting of where they stand. One of the points I like to make is you cannot change what you do not acknowledge. And so many women are walking around with a lot of debt in that purse. And so that's the first thing we want to do, because debt is like having a hole in the purse. You can keep putting money in it, and yet it will drip out if debt continues to accumulate in the form of interest.
I guess women and men are different in a lot of respects, and money maybe is one of them. But if a guy had the financial purse,
let's call it a wallet.
That's a much better
Absolutely.
idea. Great invention. Most guys aren't even going to look in there. You know what I mean? You just don't want to focus on it, especially if you know that there's some counterfeit bills in there.
Well, absolutely. But the fact of the matter is men and women are walking around with counterfeit purses and wallets. And the fact of the matter is also that it's so easy to get into debt. I mean, we're all using debit cards now, and we're using credit cards. And because of that, it's very difficult to keep track of your money. And so another exercise that I suggest in the book is that you begin by keeping a money diary. And that, sort of like a food diary, studies show that when you keep track of your food, that you have a tendency to dieters lose more weight because they are conscious of it. The same thing holds true with money. And when you begin to track where your money's going, two things happen. You begin to see how those kind of mindless things that you're spending your money on. And I believe it can show some other insight, and that is perhaps where you're spending your money could be a good investment opportunity if you find that that's one of the staple, something that you always buy.
Your goal with this book wasn't just to create another successful book. You're trying to create a movement here.
It is a movement. I mean, the book is a tool in a larger framework of what we call the Power of the Purse campaign. And the Power of the Purse campaign, the goal is to engage, enlighten, and equip 1 million women to become financially empowered. And so the book is the equip part of it. Certainly the engaging is what we're doing here, just making creating awareness around the need for women to take control of their financial future. And one of the things I really want to invite our viewers to go to my website, deborahowens.com, and women can start what we call purse groups. Now, purse groups are a hybrid of a book club and an investment club. What the purse group is about is to encourage women to get 5 to 10 of their closest friends and take this path to financial empowerment together. And so in the last chapter of the book, I call it the power of the purses, sisterhood of the purse, if you will. And I encourage women, I give them the exact steps that they can take to form this club. I encourage them to read a chapter a month, and then the next month you come back and you fraternize with your women and the other women, and you hold each other accountable. Because one other thing happens when in order to accomplish any challenging goal, you're much more successful if you have support and accountability.
Do women want to focus on this stuff? I mean, if you got a room full of guys together, probably not going to talk about their credit card statements that much, but I wonder if women are a little bit different in that regard.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think women are any different, but I think if you create an environment, I mean, no one talks about money, for goodness sake. That's why everybody's in debt. Go figure. And so what we're doing with these purse groups is creating an environment through which you feel safe talking about money. So it's bigger than the credit cards. It's really getting underneath what is driving you. But I think more importantly, it's to help women to really identify what it is they want to accomplish financially, and then get about the business of achieving financial independence.
And in half a minute, you want people to stop focusing on making money per se and more on building wealth.
Yes, because there is a difference between wealth and income. Income, you earn it and you can spend it. Wealth is something that you add to, and what I call adding value. So good point. Thanks for making that point, Jeff.
Well, thanks for putting it in the book so I could make it. You have a book signing coming up at the Pratt next week.
At the Enoch Pratt Free Library downtown. That's Tuesday evening, February the 2nd at 6:30 p.m. And we'll also have a Power of the Purse seminar as well as a book signing. So I want to invite the viewers to come out and join us.
Deborah Owens, congratulations on the book. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Jeff.